So if you run a salon or spa business, you know the importance of having good software that helps take care of all your day-to-day activities like appointment scheduling, payments, payroll, etc. Because if you have software that can help you with that, that means that you can focus your energy and attention on the things you enjoy and the things that will grow your business. Now, there's one platform that has really understood this. This platform is called Mangomint, and frankly, I hadn't heard about Mangomint just 6 months ago, and so chances are you haven't either. And so this week, I'm really excited to lead you through a review of the Mangomint platform and a tutorial where I'm going to share my screen with you and walk you through everything, how it works. And I'm going to end also with my overall assessment of the pros and cons of this platform. But before we get to that, I'm also going to talk about who this platform really is for. So if this is the first time we meet, my name is John Hallberg and I run this YouTube channel as well as the blog at thesalonbusiness.com. And this is where I share the best ideas, strategies, sometimes software reviews like today. So if that is something that you're interested in, if you want to grow your business, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out every time we publish new content here. So Mangomint is really the most clearly positioned platform out there. Like there's a lot of salon software today that try to be for everyone. Mangomint makes it very obvious that they are really for the bigger business, the one with 5+ employees. And you'll see, even when we look at pricing later on, that their smallest plan supports 10 service providers, and that's their smallest plan. So it's really for the bigger business. You'll also notice on the features, what they do different is that they really focus on the core features, the features you will use every day, and then try to take them even further in order to help save time for you on these features and make them as helpful as possible, rather than just adding more and more features into the tool. So if you want more support than kind of the core features that you'll find in Mangomint, they do allow for integrations, so you can integrate with other platforms if you want, other specific type of support. But I'm going to walk you through all of that in depth in a short moment. And this also means that this is quite a long video. I'm covering a lot in here. So if you want to navigate directly to a specific part of this review and tutorial, you can use the links that I've left in the description below this video. There's also a bunch of other helpful resources in the description. You'll find the discount code there if you want to sign up for Mangomint. You'll find a written review that I wrote for Mangomint. And there's also like a comparison guide if you want to see how Mangomint stacks up versus other software out there. But enough about that, let's dive straight in and I'll be sharing my screen with you. So when you head over to mangomint.com, you will land here on the Mangomint website. And before we go into the backend, and I'll show you exactly how the tool works, I just wanted to give you an overview of the features and also of pricing. So just go into the features tab. These are all the features that the tool offers. So calendar scheduling, of course, client management, inventory management, business reporting, online booking, point of sale, gift card, support for multiple locations, also mobile apps. You can run Mangomint on a device like a tablet or on your phone, staff management, membership and packages, and integrations. So just looking at kind of the overview of the features here, if you're using another software today or are looking at different options, this probably looks something similar to what you would find there. So the difference with Mangomint is not necessarily the number of features that you're getting, but it's really how these features work and how they've really been designed to help save you time and how they really like paying attention to details. So we'll see that in a bit. Probably what could stand out here is integration. So not all platforms would offer, integration support so you can integrate with other systems, or maybe you can integrate with some systems. With Mangomint, you have a lot more flexibility when it comes to integration. So that would be, one that stands out. If we go to pricing, so generally, like when you look at the pricing, this will look more expensive than other tools out there. So you need to bear in mind that Mangomint is really for the bigger business, right? So if you were to go with a standard plan, which is most likely what you would sign up for, this supports up to 20 service providers, right? And if you look at also the smaller plan, this is for 10 service providers. So when you look at, the cost for a bigger business, it's not really that high. And also if you take into account, the time savings and so on that Mangomint is bringing you, that is a lot of value in itself. So Generally, this is, might look high on the pricing, but I would say that you're getting a lot of value for the price that you're paying for Mangomint. So, that's the pricing. And if you want to get started, you can either book a demo with someone at Mangomint or sign up for a free trial. And obviously today I will be leading you through all the features and everything. So what I would recommend you do if you feel that this is right for you is to go to try it for free, sign up for a free trial. And I'm leaving a link also in the description below with a special offer if you want to do that. But I already have an account, of course. So what I'm going to do is just go to login and we'll see what the back end looks like. And I must say that the Mangomint team have really done a good job when it comes to design. It's super intuitive where to find things. You have the main navigation just going across the top here, and we will go into each of these in just a moment. But if you wanted to go into change something, you'll find settings here. That's where you control all your settings, or you can navigate to different parts. So very easy to find things. It looks beautiful. It's clean. It looks modern. And just loads fast. You can see, like, if I jump, in the calendar or, switch to different pages, it just loads fast, which is also nice when you're working in this every day. But let's double click on the calendar. And we'll go through some more details here. So now I'm looking at the week view ahead for myself. I could switch into day view if I wanted to get a snapshot of what's going on in the full team. Or I could go into specific team member here as well. You can also just navigate, between the different weeks up here. If you wanted to go to a specific date to see what's going on, you can just do that using the navigation up here as well. So, that's how you navigate around the calendar. You'll also notice that the appointments have different colors, which is basically based on their status. So if I click on the pink one here, you can see that this client is in service. Purple would be in the waiting area. And there's a number of different options here. If they have booked but they haven't confirmed, or they have confirmed the appointment, they're waiting for the service to start, or they're in service. So you can use those colors to just get a quick snapshot of what's going on in the calendar. If you wanted to change something, you can also use drag and drop. So if I wanted to move this appointment to Friday, for example, I would just drag it there. Now this is outside my schedule, which is warning me about. But if I wanted to move that there, I can do save changes, also notify the client about this change so that they are aware. So that's how you would use the drag and drop feature. You'll also notice that there is some space here, which is processing time. So if you have services like color services that include processing time, you can make sure that you're still bookable during that time, which is what you see here on the appointment. But let's say I wanted to add an appointment. So it could be that we have a client on the phone who's calling to book. What you'll do is just click on the calendar where you want to add that in. So let's say I wanted to add an appointment here. I would search for the client, or you could create a new client if it's not already an existing client. So let's say we take John here. And let's say you have the client on the phone and you have some details that you need to capture. What you can do is leverage this express booking feature. So rather than you asking for credit card details and whatnot over phone, you can use this express booking, which basically what it does is when you book them, they will receive a text message asking them to complete their booking. And you can set this up so that, if you have credit card required, that they can enter their credit card details, and you don't need to manage that conversation over phone. So really, I think a great example of these automations that we find inside Mangomint, and I'll show you more as well. But really seeing that coming to use, these smart little features that just makes your life easier, that Mangomint have really thought about. But let's go into the settings and see what settings you have for the calendar. So I just go to the settings button up here and then into calendar and appointment. And there's a number of things you can change here, like what visible hours do you want, start of the week, which day should that be, the Zoom level, how large Zoom level do you want in the calendar. All of that you can configure in here. Scheduling options, do you want buffer time? Do you want to enable processing time? So if services have processing time, should that be on the calendar? Cancellations, what's your cancellation policy? You can add that in here. Here you can also configure that express booking that we just looked at if you want to have that enabled or not, and what the settings should be. But what I wanted to show you was also the waiting room feature, which I think is really quite different from what I've seen elsewhere. So by enabling this, you can also have your clients checking in themselves when they are coming to your salon and moving them into kind of the waiting room status. So we can enable this, and I'll show you what this looks like. So this is how the process would work. If 15 minutes before the appointment, you can send a text message to the client that they are able to check in themselves, and they will get a link. So you can customize all these messages. What should that say? And then when they check themselves in, you can make sure that the member of staff, the service provider, is notified that the client has arrived and is waiting for them. And then the staff member can notify with a text to the client saying that they're ready. And you can configure all this, like what the message should be and how you want that to work, which I think is really something unique with Mangomint, like how you manage the waiting area. I haven't seen before. And then you'll also find other automated messages that you can use to just simplify your work. So that could be around appointments as well. When an appointment is booked, do you want to send out, do you want to set that appointment as being confirmed or unconfirmed, and then send a notification for the client to confirm their appointment? Like, what do you want to happen 2 days before the appointment? We could change that to a different point in time if you wanted. 1 day before the appointment, same day as the appointment. You can set up these messages and these flows of communication so that the client really gets a nice personalized experience with your business, and it just streamlines your operations, right? Through these smart automations. Similarly, if an appointment is canceled, you will be able to set that up if you close a sale, gift cards, and so on. So that's really, I think, illustrates how Mangomint is also going kind of the extra mile when it comes to these smart features to simplify your life and to help you save time. But let's say the client is now done with the appointment and they want to move to checkout, and you want to charge the client. What you would do is just click on the appointment, and you'll have this option for checkout in there. You can see that, because this is in service, you see checkout. If I go to one that is in the waiting area, you would need to move them to in service and then into checkout, right? Through that flow. But let's say we're going to check out this client, Erica. So I'll just click on the checkout button. You'll have the service that she was booked in for. Maybe you sold an add-on to her as well that you wanted to add in. Maybe you had some products that she wanted to buy that you would add to the bill. You can also add gift cards and packages before you move to payments. But let's say that would be the order. So we click on Go to Payments. Now you also have the option to add tip that you can just add to the bill. And then a few different payment options. You have the self-checkout, which is basically like I would enter her phone number here if it's not on file, and she will be able to check out herself directly on the phone, pay by credit card, gift card, cash, or using other means. So let's say we wanted to do cash here. She's paying me 300. I would, hand 80 back, confirm. And there it is. There's the summary of her bill, which I can choose also to either print this receipt and give to her, or send the receipt also to her via email in that case, if she wants to have a digital version. So that's really how you work with the checkout, how you go directly from the calendar. It could, of course, be that you also have a drop-in client who's just coming by and, to buy a product. What I would do is just go to the sales tab and initiate a new checkout from here, and then just, go through the same process of, creating, searching for the client. If it is an existing one, this is optional, and then adding, the product that the client wants to buy, and then, proceed from here. So that's really how you're working with the checkout. So let's also look at online booking and how you can set up online booking. Important feature, we want your clients to book you online. So the way you do that is you head over to settings. Under settings is where you find online booking. And here you can configure a number of different settings. Things like, time restriction. You only want people to be able to book 90 days in advance. Do you want people to be able to book multiple services or just a single service at a time? Do you want them, if they book multiple services, should it be possible to book with different service providers? You can, help avoid gaps in the schedule. Also collect more information during the booking process. You can configure staff selection, what order should staff be shown in, and so on. There's some settings you can do there. But what I wanted to show you is the setup and integration. So in order to get clients to book you online, what you can do is obviously just enable online booking and then share this link with them where they can go and book you. But most likely what you want to do is to integrate booking on your existing website. So the way you do that is just you go down here and there's a piece of code here that you would need to take and copy across to your website. So if you're working with an agency or a web designer who's helping you with your website, just send them this code. They will know what to do with it. If you're building your website yourself in a website builder like WordPress or Squarespace, Wix, or some other platform, all of them would have some support for including this. So you would just need to look for where you can add code to your HTML header, is what it's called. It should be somewhere in the settings. Depending on which website builder you're using, it might look differently. But you would just look for this HTML header and then copy and paste this code in. Because as soon as you have this code in your HTML header, all you need to do is to add a link anywhere on your site, which looks like this. This is what you need to link to. Because when you do that and people click that, it will bring up the Mangomint booking widget. So actually, let me show you what that could look like. So if I go to this example website, this is something that I'm just using inside training and courses here at the Salon business, but I have Mangomint on this site. So if I go to the book appointment button, you'll see as I hover this, you will see this booking.mangomint.com, which is the same as we had down here. So basically I've just copied this into the header on the site and then using this for the button. And when I click on that, it takes out the Mangomint booking widget. So what I really like with this is also that this booking widget kind of comes out on top of the website, which means that it doesn't really matter your website design and how your website is structured. Mangomint will always look good on your site because it comes out on top of it. You can also customize the branding here, so the colors you want to use and so on. You can adapt, and the way you do that is just contact the Mangomint team and they will help you set this up so that it works with your branding. So that's what it looks like. You also have the option to buy a gift card directly on here. So you could sell gift cards directly from your booking widget. So I will click in there. We can look at the backend later on in terms of how you choose the design and so on. But this is where people can go, enter the amount they want on the gift cards, enter their details and who it should go to, and buy it directly from your site. But let's say we wanted to book an appointment and we wanted to book a haircut. I'll just click on haircuts. In this case, let's say a short haircut. And then it will bring up the service providers who are set up to offer this service. Also, the pricing can vary, as you see, in between staff members. But let's say I wanted to book with myself here. I would just go and choose a time. So let's do Tuesday at 3 p.m. And then you get taken to the form that you would need to fill out with your details. So something like this. And you would need to agree to the cancellation policy, which is also something that you can configure in the backend of Mangomint. And then we just do book now. And I've set this up so that I require also credit card details to be collected, which would then happen then after they booked their time, where they can enter their details in order to finalize their booking. So I think a really nice, simple flow. It's a good experience for the client to go through this. There's no you need to create an account or you need to log in. It's very intuitive, easy to use. And I think it just slots in very nice with really any website design you would be using. So that is the online booking widget and how you set that up. So let's also look at how Mangomint is managing data and your information. So let's start with clients. So this is where you go if you want to pull up information about a specific client. You just search for the name and you'll likely find the client. Or you can use these options in order to set filters. So if you want to see all the clients who had their appointment with a certain member of staff, for example, or if you want to use some other filter, that's also how you can navigate your client database. But let's go into a specific client. So we could go into Cameron. So there's a lot of information you can store in here. This is where you edit the profile, name, all the basics, but also social media, address details, how to manage appointment notifications. You can also add notes here if you have certain information that you want to make sure always show up when someone is viewing this client. Here you can also see if they have any memberships with you, if they have any credit card on file, if they bought any packages. And what I find helpful is also this timeline feature, which basically allow you to see the full history of the client. So all the appointments they've had with you. Here you can also add notes to the timeline. So, if you want to store some information of something that she brought up during the appointment, you can just add a note. You can also upload a file if you wanted to that note, and that will just be stored on the timeline so that everyone has access to it. So I find it very helpful and very easy to work with, this client database. It has all the information you want. What I would say is, a good point with Mangomint is also their approach to data and their openness with data. You'll see, you can go in, you can export all your data. So let's say you wanted to use a different platform and you want your information, about clients, for example, you can just export it all. And Mangomint really gives you access to all the data as well. And their philosophy is really that you own the data. So I think that's an important point to mention here as well. So next, let's see the sales tab. We already looked at transactions. Let's go into reporting, because there's a number of reports here that are predefined and available for you. So, payroll is most likely something that you would want to do. So if you wanted to pull the last 2 weeks report, for which members of staff and generate, you can get that export as PDF or download as an Excel as well, if you want to work in Excel with the data. And there's a number of other reports in here for sales, memberships, inventory report, also some business intelligence reports, like if you want to understand how you're doing on appointments, you can generate the report in here and also download. So really a powerful reporting feature with a lot of these predefined report that I find easy to work with and to satisfy, should satisfy the needs that you have in terms of being able to pull reports. Let's also look at products. So here's all the products that you have. So you can categorize these by creating product categories. Or you can, also have them by brand. So let's say we wanted to add a product. You can specify name, what's the brand, if there's a specific category that you want to have this under, a unit price, if you want to track inventory, some other, SKU information, barcode, how to treat commissions and so on. All that you will store in here, and you will be able to track how you're doing on stock levels on the specific brand. So rather straightforward, and easy to work with and to see the history of any inventory changes and so on your products. So that would be products. I think what's most interesting for you will likely be services. And in order to access that, you would go to settings and then you'll find services in here. This is how you then set up services for that people can book with you. You can create service categories. So here we have haircuts, color. You can create new categories, and then you can add new services in, of course. So the information you can have is the service name, duration, time. You can also adapt this for individual staff. So if you want to have a different service duration and pricing for a different member of staff, you can also configure that. You can also set this up for online booking. And here you can configure on service level then if you require a credit card, if you have other specific information, of course, the description of the service as well that you want to show up. I think a small detail here that I also find helpful is also that you can actually link directly to the specific service. So not just linking to your regular booking page, but if you had a specific service that you wanted to promote somewhere, you get a direct link as well for where people can go and book that service. So let's also look at some more like non-standard products. What I'm talking about are gift cards. There's also packages and memberships. So if you wanted to set up a gift card, what you would do is just head into settings and you'll find gift cards in here, just like you will have packages and memberships in here. So let's go into gift cards. So what you can do here is to set up gift cards so that you can sell them online via a direct link. And in a similar way to how you added the booking widget, you can do this here with the script and also the direct link. But as you saw on here, also as you went into the online booking, now we had you will find here to buy a gift card as well if you're coming into where you can basically access this. So let's go back into the app. So where we can configure this is also, we have artwork. So here you choose the design that you want for your gift card. Or you can choose to upload your own artwork if you have custom branded gift cards that you want to use. And here on the preference is just if you want to automatically generate these gift cards numbers. So, it's really easy to set that up and to start enabling sales of gift cards on your website. What I wanted to show next was packages. So packages are a great way to kind of sell bundles of services to your clients. And so if you want to run a promotion, for example, rather than doing discount promotions, you can do like a bundle promotion. So we have a couple of like examples here, spring special, blowout series, but let's create one so you see how it works. So what you would do is just go create, and we do my test package, we call this, and you would add service groups. So you'll add a group, and we can say the first one should be, they can choose between a long haircut and additional service would be short haircut, for let's say a price of 100 or 100. And we can add another group. So maybe that would be, they can choose between a tint and a root touch-up, for example, at the price of 75, let's say. So here we would have then a bundle at the price of 175 where they can choose, one of these and one of these. So that's how you would set that up. You can set some details here if you want that to count, how that should count towards commissions. But that's essentially how you create packages that you can use to promote as like special offers or however you want to use those. Let's also look at memberships. So obviously the benefit with memberships is that you can create a recurring income stream into your business. So basically have something like the loyalty club here. Let's create a new one. And we can call it test, but here you can set up so that every month the client would be billed and a certain amount, and what should they then get for being billed a certain amount every month. So here you can add in a similar way to what we did with the packages, you would add service groups. So we can add a service in here. Let's do something very similar to what we did before. So they can choose between a long haircut or a short haircut. They would pay, let's say 125 per month. This is a little bit of an odd service, but let's say it would be 100 per month. They would pay, maybe they would get access to 2 of those, right? So they could book 2 times per month. So the discounted price is really, is really 50. And they paying 100 every month, but have access to like one of these 2 times per month. So that could be one way of doing it. You probably wouldn't do it on your haircuts, but on an add-on service, I would say. But that's how you set that up. You can also include if you want to offer discounts to your members. So for products, if you want to set up discount for retail or for services. So maybe we do this special hair promo here, and they also get 15% on retail, for example. So that's how you create a membership plan, which enables you to then charge a recurring, fee to your clients, which can help create more stability in your business with some recurring income coming in. And so I wanted to also end with showing you integrations and how you can set up Mangomint to integrate with other systems. Because that's really part of the philosophy here, is how I feel when working with Mangomint, that they really focus on these like core features that we have gone through, like online booking, checkout, and creating a good experience there. But then allowing you to integrate if you want other more specific support, rather than kind of trying to do that also in the same platform. So in order to set up integrations, you would head over to integrations. And there is a number of tools here. Shopify, which is a leading e-commerce provider. So if you wanted to launch an online store, you can set up Mangomint to integrate directly with Shopify to enable that. If you wanted to run email marketing and you want to send out email campaigns, you can link up with Mailchimp. So you can send campaigns from there and still have the data from bookings and so on directly synchronized. There's some other tools in here as well, like GiftUp and Waiver forever. But what I think is really powerful here is a feature that is called Webhooks. So this is getting a little bit more advanced, but basically what Webhooks allows you to do is to integrate with a lot of other systems. So this, you're not limited to just the integrations that you see here, but you can practically integrate with anything you want. So I don't expect you as the salon owner to be the one, setting this up. But probably you would work with an IT consultant or someone to help you with getting that set up, depending on which system you want to integrate with. But one way of doing it is also to leverage a platform that is called Zapier. So Zapier allows you to set up, via webhooks that you can integrate with the Zapier platform, and Zapier would then allow you to integrate with pretty much anything. So let's just go over here. I can show you which apps that work with the Zapier platform. So if you look through this list of tools, it's like a never-ending list of platforms that would integrate with the Zapier platform. So essentially, you could set up webhooks to integrate Mangomint with Zapier, and from that, with all the different tools that you're seeing here, in that list, which again is probably not something that you will be doing. And also, like when you want to set up webhooks, Mangomint does not allow you to do that from here, but you need to talk to the Mangomint team, and they will help you set that up on the back end. They are also very helpful when it comes to this and how, which webhook will be helpful for your business, and they can really guide you there and give some advice. So if that is something that you're interested in, to set up some of these more advanced integrations with specific systems, I would really advise you to talk to an expert over at Mangomint to do that. And kind of as we talk about the Mangomint support, I would also say that, generally the support at Mangomint is very strong. So when it comes to some of these like more complex, matters like setting up integrations and so on, I would just reach out to them, and they will happily help you with kind of like guiding you to what would be the right thing to do for you in your business. So let me try to give you my overall assessment of Mangomint, pros, cons, how I see that. And I believe some of the key strengths, which I think you saw as we went through this, the number one would be the design, the modern look and feel. It's really intuitive to work with Mangomint. It loads fast. It's going to be a nice experience for you, your team, also for your clients who would interact with the booking experience. It just looks nice and modern and easy to use. So I think that is an important one. The other one would be all the smart automations that you saw in there when it comes to the express booking feature, or the checkout, or the waiting room management, the automated messages that you could set up and configure. I think those are really things that can help you cut down on time and just make the day-to-day work that you have much easier for you, and save you time. So I think that is something that makes Mangomint unique. I haven't seen that to the same extent in other platforms out there. So that would certainly be one. Another one is also their openness with data, which we talked about, that they you own your data when you're with Mangomint. You can extract all the data about your clients. And on top of that, it integrates. You can share the data with other platforms. If you were to connect in with Zapier, that I showed you, you can really integrate with any platform out there, which is really powerful, which is something that allows your business to grow with Mangomint. And if you want to add other things in, you can certainly do that. So I think from a feature standpoint, that would be what I see as the key strengths. And on top of that, their support is really good. I've had interactions with them myself, and it's just, very good support is what you should expect as well. So especially when it comes to some of these more advanced features like webhooks, integrations, like the things we looked at, they can really help you through that, which I think is important. If we look to limitations, then certainly if you're coming at this and you're looking for an all-in-one solution that does all these core things that Mangomint do, and you also want your website builder built in, you want your email marketing built in, you want just everything under one roof, you might find Mangomint somewhat limiting there, right? Because they're focusing on the core things, and then you would need to integrate if you wanted email marketing or website builder or whatever it might be. So that could potentially be one limitation. Another one would be pricing. So as we've seen, this tool is really designed for the bigger salons, and that's why also their plans are higher priced than many other salon software out there. but they also support like a higher number of service providers, and it's really designed to cut costs for you by saving you time. And that's really what they, like my experience is that that's really what they want to do, which in the end should be generating value for you. So, you know, if you're running a smaller business, you think, you know, this will look quite expensive. But if you're, you know, running a bigger business, I don't think pricing will be that big of a challenge here, and that you certainly get a lot of value out for the price that you're paying for the product. Final limitation would also be geographies. So the platform is currently available in the US and Canada. I believe they're going to be expanding to more market, but I don't know. So if you're in a different country than that, you will not be able to use Mangomint as of today, but hopefully it will be available also in more countries in that case going forward. So, you know, that's it. Overall, I think this is a beautiful tool. It's just so pleasant to work with. It has like, you know, really great features. And I think, you know, if you run a bigger business, you're gonna like really love Mangomint and the simplification that brings to your business. And it's certainly worth for you, like if you liked what you saw in this demo tutorial, to give it a try. And if you want to do that, I'm leaving a link also in the description where you get access to a specific discount. I'll put more details about that inside the description, so you can learn more. So you can start a free trial, give it a go, and see for yourself. So that's what I had to share with you today. I hope you found this review and this demo helpful. Like, you know, give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a comment, so that I know. And I look forward to seeing you inside of an upcoming video.